Hello, Tom Lavecchia here with the latest edition of the New Theory podcast. Today, we got a very special guest. But before we jump in, I'd like to thank everyone listening to the podcast. It's been a fun year in 2018. Our viewership has grown tremendously. So please like, share, and comment, and more importantly, subscribe on the listening platform that you're on. Speaking about podcasts and platforms, I want you to check out podsearch.com. Again, check out podsearch.com. It is an excellent resource to find podcasts. And the nice thing about it is you can actually put your own kind of Spotify type playlist together based off of your personalization. You look at my categories, top shows, new shows, etc. One of my biggest gripes have been historically that if I want to find a great podcast, I was dissatisfied with iTunes on how they kind of curated the content. So just check out the folks over at podsearch.com. So with Ines today, Ines, welcome to the New Theory podcast. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here.
My pleasure. Okay, now we're going to talk about how to raise your personal brand and fine-tune your identity digitally. And this is something near and dear to my heart because I think this goes to both personal and professional. But first, Ines, so give us first, what are some of the mistakes people make when they're trying to cultivate and grow their personal brand? Let's start off with that.
Thank you, Tom. The mistakes, there are several. I think one of the worst is that people don't really know what image do they want to project. They really don't know or don't make clear where do they want to go, what do they want to do, what do they want to be. So they create an image that's confusing, that's not clear. They jump from topic to topic, or they don't establish a brand for themselves, like a style that people will expect to find each time they see us or they read something about us. There are people that are very positive or inspiring. There are others that are regularly very angry and negative. So, but if you jump from one position and other, it may confuse your audience.
I got it. And then and we're gonna put a link to her book. She wrote an excellent book called You Incorporated. Your Career is Your Business. And we talk about entrepreneurs, but I think what we don't talk about enough is intrapreneurs. Those are people that maybe work as a W-2 employee, may not be a founder, but work for a company. You may be in sales, etc., or whatever that is, but you're still having to have a variable pay, or you treat it like your own business, which is a way to go. So, okay. So first let's talk about narrative. So I'm assuming, when you want to roll out your digital identity or want to kind of roll out and cultivate your brand, how do you establish a good narrative?
I guess that the first point, as I said before, is to know where do you want to go, and then find some topics of areas that are your interest or your expertise, and then be very keen in audit permanently whatever it's seen about you on digital media. What's your footprint? So you have to be able to create an identity that's easy for people to understand. We don't have to be perfect. We have faults, but it's important to create an image that people can relate to. So the narrative should be simple, very authentic, very warm. If you decide to be on the positive side, because of course there are people that rather be on the negative side. But I think that we get normally more followers if you create an image for yourself that add value to others, and that is very appreciated.
Okay, so here, and I agree with you. And okay, so I work and I do some publicity, but I'm mostly digital marketing centered person. So PR is part of that. We generally do a good job for our clients. However, I have personal challenges getting my brand out there, my digital identity personally. And I got to tell you why. My actual life, it's usually the opposite. My actual life, and I know for a fact, is a lot more robust and a lot more interesting than my digital life. And I have a challenge, and I'm like, listen, keep it authentic, just capture, document it, and share. but then like when I share, I don't have like the nuances. I don't use the filters. I don't use apps. I don't, use all that kind of stuff. So what happens is I again, just my digital presence is maybe not as strong if saw me on Instagram, but my real life is much better. I think it's the opposite of a lot of people. So what would your recommendation be to somebody like me?
Uh, First, I will really try to make a decision between what do you want to share is yourself and your life, your authentic self, or you want to share the role that you live in, the role that you have imposed for yourself in your personal life. I truly believe in being to have a lot of integrity. When I mean, which I mean for integrity in this case, is to be exactly the same person you are in the professional world and in the personal world, because we are only one. So we may play different roles, but being only one, it makes us feel more authentic, more approachable, more real, and more vulnerable even. And that is something that really attracts people's attentions. So Tom, if you have a lot of great things going on in your personal life, share them with them. I mean, sometimes we tend to be more private than we should. And now that nothing is really private and nothing can be keep of the digital world, if we decide to live with a lot of integrity, that everything that we do in our personal life can be shared because it's appropriate for a digital life, go ahead and do it. I mean, people want to connect with a real human being. There are too many computers and chatbots and artificial intelligence beings going around our lives. We really want to connect with human beings. Show that. I mean, put yourself up there. And it takes a lot of courage sometimes to do it because we may not be likened by everyone. But I believe it's the only way to go.
Okay, so we established that we want our narrative to be, let's just say we establish our narrative, right? And we go through the true authenticity route where, I'm not going to put as many filters. I'm just going to be me. And again, if people are following the narrative, that's great. And if they're not, that's okay as well, right? Because then they're not interested or you're maybe not doing a job of conveying the message. So I kind of get all that, right? How do you choose the right platform for your message and your narrative?
What I personally do, and I've gotten, thank God, very good results in Peru. I'm the number one CEO for internet presence
Nice.
in my country,
Nice.
and it's good. What I do is I work through all platforms, but I adjust my narrative, my message slightly for each different platform, and that takes a couple minutes to think how this is going to be seen or read in each platform every time. But it really pays off. I in my personal Facebook, for example, I put a lot of more personal things that are work related but are more personal. I share more feelings, more emotions. In my fan page, I share more of my work, what I've learned, what I can add value to others. In my Instagram, I share completely different things, more personal, also not related at work at all, but still it's me. In my LinkedIn, it's all about work, but also very friendly because if it's only work, it can be boring. And in my Twitter, I share everything that I put in my other platforms, trying to understand that the messages have to be more to the point. And it depends, and actually, you have to keep trying every time. It's like feeling, using your intuition to sense what's the mood of those different platforms at certain times. And that has to be done every single time that you post something.
Okay, so that makes sense. So what you're saying is, like, for example, choose the right message for the right platform. So let's just say Facebook, let's be honest, it ages up, right? I'm 42, going to be 43 soon. So like my age bracket tends to be on Facebook. So that might be a different message than I might put on, Instagram, which may be millennial focused. So that part, that part makes sense. I get that. But remember, you are talking about career, right? And this does apply for entrepreneurs, but more for intrapreneurs. A lot of intrapreneurs get scared about posting certain stuff because they don't want to get fired or they don't want their boss looking at it. Like, do you recommend, hey, it's okay for your boss to follow you. It's okay for your customers to follow you. Or do you like to keep that separate? Maybe you have a professional account on Instagram for work and a personal for family and friends. Or, hey, you should have one account and you shouldn't post anything that you're not ashamed to post. What is Ines Temple thought on that? Because I'd love to hear that.
Um, I I try to live and work with integrity. I get what I mean. Everything that I post, I know it's out there forever. Everything that I do, it's will be there forever, because maybe I'm not posting, but people are taking a picture of myself, of uh, quoting me on an expression. So what I'm very clear is that we are always on a window, a real window or a digital window. So uh, it's like being in the scenery all the time. So we really need to be very clear about that. Whatever we do, whatever we say, the way we behave, we always be out there. So whatever I say or do has to be consistent if my boss says, or if my client says, if I have my own business. So, I mean, I think that lying or creating false images takes a lot of effort and a very good memory. and
I love that. I love that one.
So I don't have a great memory. So I try just to be the same person, myself in every platform. And again, maybe not everybody likes me, but that's impossible. I mean, not even the best liked person have 100% of everybody's love. So, you know, um, we have to be keen. I guess there's a word that I'm audacious. You have to be.
Audacious, yes.
That's the word. We have to there. We are out there. It's every time we go out of our home, we are out there. We are at other people's eyes. So whatever we do or say will be judged. So we have to do the best we can. I mean, we just cannot be complacent to everyone.
True. Okay, so with that being said, give us 2 or 3 takeaway principles from your book. Again, you incorporated your career is your business. We'll put a link in the Libsyn notes. But please share 2 or 3 principles that, again, obviously we want everyone to get your book, but what are some 2 or 3 principles people can take away that they can implement immediately?
Okay. One, I think it's important is to change our attitude towards work. What I mean is we see a lot of people that have a bad attitude to their work because they don't like their pay or the boss or whatever. And what they're doing is they're shooting to their feet in their career. Our careers are a business. So whenever we want to be, we are an entrepreneur, we are still selling our services to someone. So we have to be very, very keen in identifying our accomplishments, what's the value that we add. We should try to measure that value in order to make sure that we are delivering what we are being paid for. So that's important. Second, I guess we need to understand very well what's going on in our marketplace. What do we need to be to keep ourselves relevant? What are others doing or others are learning that we are not learning? What skills do we need to keep renewing or keeping up to date? And that, I think, it's especially important now that digitalization and disruption, it's coming to every single industry, and that everybody, we all should start keeping a lot of attention on how will my job be disrupted? How will my business be disrupted? And try to be ahead of that. Another thing very important is keep our network channels open. Nobody is too small to be our contact, and we need to focus on developing a stronger network of trust, especially men after certain age, Tom. Men tend to think, I don't need any more friends. I already have enough friends. And they shut themselves for being out there, developing new relationships, personal or business-wise. And that's not good for their own business. When women, we sometimes, on the other hand, run from the office to the house, to the house to the office, and not develop enough strategic relationships that will be good for our careers. And last but not least, I think it's very important that we all work on developing our charisma. A lot of people believe that charisma it's only for leaders or politicians. I truly believe that having a high level of warmth in the way we communicate to others works wonders for our personal brand, for our reputation, for the way we relate with people, because through warmth, what we create is trust. And if people trust us. They will listen to our messages. They will pay attention to who we are, what do we have to say or deliver. And that's the only way to start and maintain and sustain a relationship over and over in time. So charisma is key for our careers and our businesses in general.
I want to echo one thing you said that stuck out was strategic relationships and then make them meaningful relationships. So Ines, how can we find you?
You mean the book?
Yeah, how can we find you and how can we find the book?
Okay. The book is everywhere, all the digital retailers and every bookstore around wherever you are. And me, I have a webpage, www.inestemple.com. I have like 800 videos and articles in English and Spanish there with a lot of knowledge that I have. I mean, we have been working, helping over 50,000 people find new jobs in South America. And I work with the world leader in outplacement, which is LHH. So there is a lot of knowledge. There is a lot of free knowledge out there for people. That's what I love doing, sharing, trying to help. And I'm here always to answer questions, to be close, to be of help if anyone needs me.
Listen, I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Folks, check out Ines's book. Again, we'll put a link in the show notes. And although I want you to like, comment, and subscribe to the New Theory podcast on your platform that you're listening to, I also want you to check out podsearch.com, where you could find even better podcasts that will augment your listening experience. Ines, thank you for being on the New Theory podcast.
Thank you, Tom, for inviting me, and I loved your questions. You are a very smart interviewer. Thank you for that.
Well, I'm humbled to have you on, and I'm humbled by that compliment. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.